Chapter 1. Joshua is dead. Joshua has been dead for many years. He was God's chosen leader over our people for the 30 years leading up to his death. God's anointing on him had been conspicuous. Moses had mentored him for the prior 40 years to prepare him to step into his leadership role. The succession in leadership had been well planned, and the transition between the two men had gone smoothly. Joshua was a wise and effective leader. God clearly spoke to him, and he knew how to hear from God. He knew to seek God in all things. But it remained somewhat surprising that when he died, there was no one who had been trained to take his place as leader over our people. Yes, our people knew that Jehovah God was our leader. We knew we were his people. But for 70 years he had guided our people through the voices of men. Surely he intended to continue that pattern. So, where was the man he had chosen to follow in Joshua's footsteps? Had Joshua not been listening to God? Or had Joshua been disobedient to God by not mentoring the next leader? Or did God have a much different plan? When God required the leader to lead his people out of Egypt through the wilderness to his promised land, he knew where to find him. He went to a hillside and selected the shepherd he had prepared for the task. Then, when he required someone to lead the people into the promised land, to possess the land, he chose a man who had proven his military leadership capability time and again. In both instances, God's selection and anointing were obvious. He raised up leaders with the unique gifts and ability for the assignments he gave them. But those assignments were now completed. His people were now in possession of the land. God no longer required one leader to lead all the tribes. Now, each individual tribe needed to conquer the territory God had selected for them. And God had raised up tribal leaders through Joshua's leadership. It soon became obvious God had a new plan for the governing of Israel. Soon after Joshua's death, the Canaanite tribes began to stir. They believed our people were vulnerable to an attack because of his death and the absence of a successor. But Jehovah God had a different strategy. He spoke to the hearts of the tribal leaders, and they asked him, "Which tribe should go first to attack the Canaanites?" The Lord answered, "Judah, for I have given them victory over the land." The leaders exercised wisdom, heeded the words of the Lord, and advanced according to the Lord's plan instead of going out on their own. The army of the tribe of Judah was under the command of Caleb. By then he was the oldest living person among our people, with all the wisdom derived from his faithful walk with the Lord. And even at 110 years of age, he still had the strength and courage of a younger man to effectively lead the fighting men of Judah. Caleb knew God would give them all they needed to faithfully accomplish his task. His first action was to lead the tribe of Judah, the largest tribe of Israel, to enlist the support and cooperation of the tribe of Simeon, the smallest tribe of Israel. The tribe of Simeon possessed an allotment of land within the borders of Judah, in essence, the hole inside of the wheel. And it was mutually beneficial for the tribes to collaborate to conquer the remaining Canaanites living within their borders. The two tribes defeated the Canaanites in the hill country cities of Bezek, Jerusalem, and Hebron. As they approached the city of Deborah, Caleb vowed to give his daughter Achsah in marriage to the man who successfully led in the attack and capture of the city. The champion proved to be Caleb's nephew, Othniel, who was an honorable man. Shortly after Othniel and Achsah married, she urged her new husband to ask her father for a field. But she soon realized the land in Negev her father gave Othniel contained no springs of water. She knew the land would need a good water source to be productive and bear fruit. Othniel hesitated to go back to his father-in-law with an additional request. So Achsah boldly went to her father and asked, "Father, give me a further blessing.